Well, Jannik, it's great to see you back in Indian Wells. Having missed Tennis Paradise last year, how nice is it to be back?
Yeah, it feels great. Obviously, one of the nicest tournaments we have throughout the year, so it feels great to be back. Of course, a very important tournament too, starting off the Masters series for this year again here. So I'm very happy, and we all hope for a great tournament.
You got in pretty early too, didn't you? How have you spent the time?
Yeah, we came here because in Monaco the weather was not great, so we decided to come here. I grabbed a couple of friends, played some golf, but in the same time we practiced very hard, very long days, many hours on the court. So I feel like this helped me a lot, and hopefully I'm ready for a good tournament.
I think I'm right in saying it's the only hard court Masters where you haven't reached the final yet. When you've done so well everywhere else, how nice is it actually to still have that kind of challenge?
Yeah, it's for sure, of course, extra motivation. I mean, it's a court where it's slightly different than other courts. Here is quite rough. It's getting slow at times, but look, I'm very happy, to accept this challenge, and I'm very confident that I can do some great results here in the future. If it's not here, hopefully I have many years to play on. So yeah, I'm quite relaxed. In the same time, I know that the season has just started, so it's still gonna be a long season, and but I'm very happy to be here, and I hope that I can improve my game here too.
How do you reflect on the season so far? I know it's still very early. Two events. How do you feel you've played so far?
Yeah, I mean, I played well in Australia. Was very close there. Was close in Doha too. Just a couple of moments in each match which I've missed a bit. But in the same time, look, I'm very happy to be here. I'm happy in the shape I am in right now. I feel very confident that I can play some good tennis, and it has been still a great season. Look, semis in a Grand Slam, it's a great result, and now here's the second big event of the year, so I'm looking forward to it.
Just finally, you say the confidence word. I was interested to hear you at the end of Doha say that you were looking to get your confidence back, which surprised me in a way. But how do you do that? How do you get your confidence back if you're not feeling it 100%?
No, I mean, it's all part of the process. We all have ups and slightly small downs, but then I'm not worried. We are practicing very hard. Back in the days, the hard work always brought me success, and I'm working harder now than I was before. So I'm very sure that the results they are coming back. But yeah, look, if it's not this week, I know it might be the next week. I know that I can play a good tournament, but I also know that I can lose before. So, which was the case also last year. You know that it's always in the back of your mind, but not always things are coming your way as you want and as you wish. So I'm very relaxed. I know that I can play some good tennis. So I'm happy to be here. Happy to start. Hopefully a good tournament here, and then we see how it goes.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Hi Jannik, welcome back to Tennis Paradise. Just tell us how your preparation is going for the tournament.
No, preparation is going really well. It's a special place. Obviously, missing out last year, it makes it even more special, and we all hope for a great tournament.
Questions? Please raise your hand. Introduce yourself.
Hi, Jannik. Anastasia from Ground Pass Podcast. Ever since you released your YouTube channel, blog, a lot of other players have done something very similar. How has that been going for you, sharing your story with your fans, and how do you see that progressing over time?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like fans, they don't know exactly how we are as a person, So this helps also to show how I am in and off the court. And I think it's something great. Me personally, I love to watch also other YouTube videos, from other sports people, and yeah, it's of course something different. I have behind my team what makes it by itself. I don't have to worry about anything else. So, but in the same time, it's nice to show something outside of tennis. At times some how we practice or what other stuff I love to do outside of a tennis court. So I think it's nice. In the same time, obviously the main priority is always to play tennis, and that's what I love to do.
Jannik, just entering this time of year, is there anything in particular you're focused on in your game? Is it just everything? How do you sort of arrange your focus?
No, I think it's we are always trying to progress with our games, and I feel like we're doing a great job. It has been a very hard practice week here for me with many hours of practice. So I'm very happy with how I'm feeling on the court, and obviously we try to go as far as possible in the tournament. In the same time, we also try to improve a couple of things. I'm trying to be slightly more aggressive at times on the baseline, and then we see how it goes.
Hi Jannik, Russell Fuller, BBC. How do you view the season so far?
Season was good. I mean, semis in Australia and in Doha, whatever it happened. But I'm very happy how in what mental moment I am in. As I said, we try to maximize our potential. Season has just started, so it's a very important couple of tournaments for me before going on the clay. I know that, so but I feel good to play some good tennis, and as I said, now we see how it goes.
Hi, Rory Carroll with Reuters. Just curious, how do you keep focused when there's world events like a war in Iran? We've got players that were in Dubai and unable to travel, or en route now, perhaps. Just does that affect your ability to focus and prepare for?
There are certain things we cannot control, really, and this is definitely one of them. And I do think and believe that ATP and everyone is trying to do the best possible choices to feel as safe as possible, and that's the only thing I can say, really. I obviously hope that everyone is safe and they can come here to play, and or also to go home. It depends what they want to do, but there are certain scenarios we cannot control. So I tried, of course, to be focused, but you also realize that there are much more important things in life than playing tennis. So I do believe we have a good protection around us as being as a player, and I hope other players feel the same way.
Good morning.
Jannik, Courtney Nguyen, 40 Deuce. When you talk about, from the first question, kind of wanting to show other parts of your personality, other sides of you outside of being just a professional tennis player, how hard is it to have a side that is not connected to tennis, like finding hobbies, things that can distract you from, the time on court? Is it hard to kind of have things that aren't tennis related?
No, it's not hard. For me, the most important is always to have good people around me, because this already gives you loads of stability, in your life, in a personal life, in the life we live in, which is at times quite hectic. So the only thing you want to do is just staying at home and do something very, very relaxed. In the same time, I also need some other things to do, if it's playing golf or driving a car or anything else, playing some PlayStation, and just living also, the life of a 24-year-old. I know that these days they are very, very rare, because I do sacrifice a lot to be in the position where I am. But it is important just to surround yourself with good people who understand how you are as a person, and I think this already gives you so many positive things.
Last one.
Hi, Jannik. Jessica from Hardcourt. There's been a lot of conversation around Nike's kits lately, and we've seen you adjust certain elements in Australia. How involved are you in giving feedback to Nike on what you wear, and what are the elements that matter to you?
Look, I do honestly. I think Nike is doing an incredible job because they have so many athletes and so many different things they need to think about. So, but in the same time, I like what I'm wearing. There was more a question of not being as dark because of the sun. You know, I had some problems with Spizziri at some point, having cramps, and we realized that I was wearing quite dark colors, and that's the reason why we changed a bit in white. But look, we changed so many times the outfits throughout the whole year. Basically, every couple of tournaments, me have new outfits, so it's also not easy to always have something. What looks perfect in that court, but in the same time, I believe there is such a big team behind to make great outfits. So we're getting more involved next year, but in the same time, I think they're doing a great job.